I gave 4 different AIs the same challenge: predict the 2026 World Cup winner. They disagreed on almost everything, except 3 teams. Welcome to TechWise, where we put AI to real tests. Subscribe if you want experiments you can actually run yourself. Here is the setup. The 2026 World Cup is the largest in history. 48 teams, 104 matches, 3 host countries across North America. And the prediction markets are the most compressed they have ever been. Spain and France are co-favorites at 5-1. England sits just behind at 7-1. Brazil and Argentina are priced at 9-1 and 10-1. No single team dominates. Every analyst on the planet disagrees. So I handed the problem to AI. I designed 4 purpose-built prompts, each targeting a completely different analytical lens: statistics, historical patterns, squad-level scouting, and bracket simulation. Then I ran each through a different model, collected the outputs, and cross-referenced every prediction to find what all 4 systems agreed on. I will drop every prompt in the description so you can run this yourself. But here is what surprised me. It was not just the predictions. It was where the AIs fundamentally disagreed, and what that revealed about the limits of machine reasoning in sport. The first prompt asked the AI to function as a pure statistical analyst. No narrative, no legacy, just FIFA rankings, qualifying goal differentials, defensive records over 24 months, and knockout head-to-head records. Spain ranked first, an unbeaten competitive record stretching back to 2023. The best goal differential in European qualifying. A defensive structure that has conceded fewer goals per game than any other top 10 nation over 2 years. France came second. Mbappe, Dembele, and a squad deep enough that Deschamps can rotate without a visible drop in output. England came third. Not for dominant statistics, but because their knockout round win probability under Tuchel is measurably unlike anything previous England managers produced. Statistical model verdict: Spain, France, England. But here is where it gets interesting. The second prompt asked the AI to behave as a football historian, analyzing every World Cup since 1990 to extract the structural traits that every winner shares: squad stability, midfield control under pressure, a reliable penalty taker, and a favorable group draw. When those 4 traits were mapped onto the current field, France scored highest. Deschamps has managed the same core group through multiple tournaments. Tchouaméni and Camavinga give them the midfield dominance the model flagged. Mbappe's penalty record is exceptional. Spain scored second, but with a risk discount. Historically, teams missing their primary creative player in the opening rounds lose their tournament identity even when depth exists. Yamal has a hamstring injury. The coach confirmed he would not start the opener against Cape Verde. That is not a rumor. That is a structural vulnerability the historical model penalized. Argentina scored third, not because of Messi's status, but because Argentina matches the profile of a defending champion with settled defensive leadership and a tournament culture built through repeated high-pressure knockout experiences. Historical model verdict: France, Spain, Argentina. England dropped to 4th. 2 models, 2 different top 3s. And this is where the real divergence begins. The third prompt ran squad-level scouting, positional depth, injury risk, and tactical flexibility across the top 8 ranked nations. This model flagged what the first 2 completely ignored. France faced the potential loss of William Saliba, their first-choice center-back, after he aggravated a back injury playing 120 minutes through pain in the Champions League final. Losing Saliba does not destroy France, but it disrupts the defensive block Deschamps trusts most in elimination matches. Spain entered the tournament with Yamal managing a hamstring, confirmed to start the opener on the bench. For a team whose creative system roots through an 18-year-old's one-on-one ability, reduced intensity in the opening rounds is a real structural risk. The scouting model's verdict, adjusted for injury-weighted probability. England first. Their squad depth at center back and fullback is the most resilient in the tournament. Losing any one player does not change their tactical identity. France, second, pending Saliba. Spain, third. The fourth model then did something none of the others attempted. The fourth prompt ran a full bracket simulation across 1,000 simulated tournaments, using FIFA rankings and recent form as win probability inputs. Spain won in 19.2% of outcomes, France in 17.8%, England in 14.1%, Argentina in 11.3%, Brazil in 9.6%. But the bracket model flagged something structural. FIFA has seeded this tournament so the top two ranked teams cannot meet before the semifinal. Spain and Argentina are in opposite pathways. France and England are in opposite pathways. In the majority of simulated finals, it is a European versus South American clash, not two European giants eliminating each other early. The simulation also flagged France's group as statistically the most dangerous path to the knockout rounds of any top 4 seed. They have the highest upset probability before the round of 16, which explains why their odds shortened so sharply in the final days before kickoff. Bracket simulation verdict: Spain wins in nearly 1 in 5 outcomes. France is the closest challenger. England is the highest probability dark horse. Now the composite. Across all 4 analytical lenses, 3 teams appeared in every single top 3 prediction. 3 teams that no model could eliminate, regardless of how it weighted the variables. Spain. Every model placed them in the top 3. The strongest statistical profile, the highest simulation win probability, the most favorable bracket path. The single specific risk, Yamal's fitness in the opening round. If he operates at less than full intensity for the first 2 matches, Spain are still capable, but the unpredictability that makes them genuinely frightening disappears. France. 3 of 4 models placed them first or second. They lost 2 significant players before kickoff. Ekitike to an Achilles injury and Saliba potentially to a back problem, and they remain co-favorites. No other team in this field can absorb that level of attrition and hold the same market position. Deschamps has not built a brand, he has built a tournament machine. England. This is the prediction that contradicts most casual analysis. Defensively resilient, tactically adaptable under Tuchel, with a knockout round mentality that the data now supports. The historical model's one objection was England's penalty record, but that record belongs to previous managers, not this one. And Argentina sits in 4th, the highest South American win probability, a defending champion, and Messi still in the field. If this becomes a 4-way race in the semi-final stage, Argentina is the most dangerous team outside the top 3. This is not the future of sports analysis. It is happening right now, with tools available to anyone watching this video. Run the prompts in the description. Compare your outputs to mine. Because the most interesting part of this experiment is not the answer. It is the process. And that process applies to any complex prediction problem, not just football. Watch the next video to see how I structured the cross-referencing system to eliminate contradictions between models, that one gets into the real mechanics of multi-model reasoning.